Hello everyone, I am Ryan Besney, Training Director for Advantage Ambulance. Today we are going to learn how to sign in and navigate through our new fully integrated employee web-based charting system. First off, I'm going to show you how to sign in. Obviously, you will need to go to the web-based address, which is aa.traumasoft.com. Once you are there, you guys should have all received your sign-on information, which will be your first and last name, lowercase with no spaces. As well, you should have received your password to sign in, your initial password, or if you're signing in initially, it should be capital W, welcome1, exclamation. Once you have signed in, it will prompt you to create your own password. So go ahead and do that if you haven't done so already. And as you can see, once you have signed in, it will prompt you to clock in for your shift. You will see the time, punch in, clock out. If you are just getting in to do your mock training for your mock patient, you can go ahead and bypass this by clicking continue without clocking in. But normally when you would come on shift, this is how you are going to be clocking in and out for your shift that you will be assigned to. Like I said, this is fully integrated with the CAD system that dispatch uses. You will be assigned to your shift, your unit number, your vehicle number, all that should have already been pre-populated into the CAD, depending on what shift you are working. So that way, every time you sign in and out to a new ePCR, all that stuff should already be pre-populated in there for you. Today, we're just going to show you how to, like I said, sign in, show you how to navigate. So I'm going to click continue here, just bypassing the clock in. And as you can see, this is our web-based web page here for Advantage Ambulance. It's a fully integrated system, all in one. As you can see, if you navigate and look around in here at the top, the blue toolbar, you'll see any mail that's sent to you, your schedule, any current calls that are still going on, virtual classroom for in the future when we assign any monthly education, any training that needs to be done, compliancy training, annual training, new equipment rollout, as well as posting updates for in-person classrooms should all be posted there. Any company links, any news that we put out, or anything that we need to relate to you guys should all be up here. You guys can go ahead and also look into your account, make sure that all your information is correct. At the top, you will also see ePCR, which is going to be how we're going to get into our charting system, as well as your clock, punch in, clock in and out. Don't worry about this new ePCR. That is something that might come out later, but right now we are just going to be using the ePCR. So once you have signed in, like I said, you will go ahead and kind of look around here. You'll see if there's anything meant for you as far as any communications you will see here, training bulletin, the virtual classroom, upcoming shifts, your time off requests, trade requests, all that will be here. But for today's purposes, we are going to go to that toolbar at the top, the blue toolbar, and click on ePCR. This will take us to our list of current calls that have been created in the CAD by dispatch. First, we will need to acknowledge the privacy statement. So click the box and accept. From here, you will see a list of any previous runs that or charts that you have completed or still have open. As you can see, I have a couple test ones here I've already done. This one has been completed. You can see it's green. That means it's been fully filled out and has been finalized. as well. You see some other ones that I have that are still open. You can go in at any time if you have an old chart that you need to go back into, make some changes before finalization, add some attachments, whatever it is. You can always click on that run that you're trying to get to, and you can click view, which will take you into that chart. If it's been finalized, you can also print it or email it. But for today's purposes, we are going to create a run and kind of show you how to build one from scratch. Normally, when you've been assigned a call, if you go to current calls, it will show up and you will be have the run number and all that already assigned to you. So you should just be able to go ahead and click on in there, and it should already be pre-populated with any information that dispatch is already put into the system or that chart from the CAD, so that you won't have to fill out everything from scratch. Stuff including like the patient's name, their birthday, maybe insurance information, incident pickup, destination, all that stuff. If it's already been put in beforehand by dispatch in the CAD, you will already see it kind of pre-populated in there, so it'll be less work for you to do. But for today's purposes, I'm going to kind of show you how to create a run from scratch and kind of enter in pretty much everything yourself, and we'll just go through it and show you kind of step by step all the different tabs that you will need to complete before you can finalize and post a run. So on the left-hand side here, you will see create run. We're going to go ahead and click that. We're going to add a run number here. Normally, this would already be generated from dispatch when you would be assigned a call. And then we're going to pick our configuration, whether or not you are on a BLS call, maybe a BLS mutual aid emergency call, or a CCT. So for that mock patient that we are all going to be practicing on, go ahead and use your last name and then also a number of whatever number you're on. You can make multiple mock charts if you want. So today we're going to put in my last name, and this will be my third chart here. If you do end up, if it's a wait and return, you can also put in the return run number here as well. So they will know to combine those charts for the initial call, and then also the return will be kind of basically attached together. So you can also pull data from the CAD here as well, but we are going to go ahead and you see configuration, BLS non-emergency, emergency, and then 5150. We are going to do a CCT, so you can see the full template of all the different devices and stuff that we use on CCT. So go ahead and click CCT and save. So that will take us into our chart. So this is what it looks like when you are charting here, and we're going to kind of run through it like we normally would at the beginning of a call, basically from start to finish. There shouldn't be any need to contact dispatch anymore via the radio, PTT, as we timestamp the stuff on the top here and the home screen of our chart. That will automatically communicate to dispatch. Say if we're on scene, transporting en route, all that stuff. As soon as you timestamp it here, like I said, that automatically gets sent to dispatch, and that will be your acknowledgement. On the left-hand side here, you're going to see these are all the main tabs. I like to start at the top and kind of just work my way down. You can see finalize at the bottom. That will be when we have fully completed the chart and posted it or are ready to post it. The goal is to turn all these tabs here from red to green. Red is everything that is mandatory. It needs to be filled out or you will not be able to finalize and post your run. So again, like I said, I like to start at the top of the left-hand tabs. These are our main tabs here. When you go into it, you will see, like I said, this is our home screen here. This is where we're going to timestamp any events. Plus, we also have quick access to if we give a medication, vital signs, any procedures that we're going to do are all going to be kind of quick linked here on the home page. If you needed to, you can also go ahead and click the edit run. If say you need to for some reason change something on here, the configuration or whatever it is, you can go ahead and do that as well. Like I said, it already should be pre-built for you from dispatch, so there shouldn't be a need to do any of that. So we'll go ahead and save this and continue. All right, so remember, you need to make sure you fill out everything that is red so that it will turn green. You will not be able to post it if you do not have filled out everything completely, and if there's any red left on the chart, you will not be able to post it. So like I said, we are going to kind of just work through this from top to bottom, show you in and out of some of these tabs and also the sub tabs for some of these boxes here. So we're going to go through and just act like we are getting a call from scratch. So timestamp, you have been assigned a call. Dispatch will page you with your run, with all the information that you will need. So that will already be pre-populated. I was assigned the call. I acknowledged the call. And now I'm in route. While you are obviously on the way to the call, you can start pre-filling out some of the information that you have already. But once you get to scene, so we've now driven, we are now at the hospital. We can go ahead and click at scene. As we get all of our stuff together, our gear, we walk in the hospital, finally get up to our unit, say we're in the emergency room now, and we can go ahead and click at patient. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead, obviously get my face sheet, get my report, all that good stuff. And I will start kind of working my way down these main tabs on the the left-hand side. So we will start with the first red one, which is incident. I'm going to go ahead and click incident. Once you are in there, you will see the sub tabs at the top here. Again, you'll see some that are red, some that are green. The red ones are all the mandatory fields that must be completed. So again, we're just going to start from left to right, working our way across, making sure we have turned all these sub tabs from red to green. You won't be able initially when you're first in there to obviously put everything in at the beginning of your call to turn them all green, but before we post it at the end of our call, we will make sure that everything is green, especially like our post time, stuff like that. We can't do obviously until the end of the call. So working from left to right, we have incident info. We're going to go ahead and put our run number again in here. I'm just going to use my last name and 3. Again, this tab is red. This is black, means it's not necessary. At the very minimum, we need to do everything that's red. But that's at a very minimum. By all means, you can go ahead and fill out anything extra. But at the very least, we need to at least address everything that's red. Type of service, interfacility, role, primary role of this unit is a ground transport. From here, since we filled out all the red, I will go ahead and click save and next section. That will take me to the next section. As you can see here now, since we filled out everything in that incident info portion, it is now turned green. From here, if we are now into delays, if there are any delays, traffic, ED overcrowding to offload, by all means address those here. If not, you can go ahead and click none and hit save and next. Here, this is stuff that should already be pre-populated. Like I said, when you first come on your shift, you will be assigned your unit, your shift, your unit call sign, all that. When you're in there, you and your partner should have already been, put into the CAD. So when you come here, most of this stuff should be filled out. We're going to kind of show you how to do it from scratch if you need to. There really shouldn't be a need to do that, but say you do, and you haven't been assigned maybe a car. So we're just going to go through. I'm going to click on a unit number here. I'm going to assign myself to unit 361. Unit call sign A1. I'm just going to scroll down this list here. either ALS if it's an ALS call, or specialty critical care if it's a CCT call. We're going to go ahead and click that. And I will be out at the La Jolla station. Again, I'm just clicking this. You can put in any extra info you need to. You can see this is not red, so it's not mandatory, but by all means, the more information you can put in, the better it will be for our charting system. On scene odometer, we will just say 10. Obviously, we will get the destination odometer at the end of our call. And we will hit save and next. That will take us to our next screen. You can see vehicle is still red because we haven't put in our final OD. But once we do at the end of the call, everything will be there. So now working our way again in the subtab, the dispatch subtab from top to bottom, we as CCT will be doing interfacility transfers. Working our way down, dispatch priority, most of our calls emergent. But by all means, put whatever is pertinent here. Response emergent. We are going to go, maybe it's a code 1. So if it was code 1, it'd be scheduled. Code 2, unscheduled. We're just going to go ahead, normal speed, no lights and sirens, save and next. That will take me to the crew. As you can see, dispatch is now green. Here, crew members should already be pre-assigned, but if not, I can go ahead and assign myself and my partner and our roles. Find my name on here. Registered nurse, make sure that it is the correct role of each member. I, as the attendant in the back, am going to be the primary caregiver at scene and primary caregiver during transport. Go ahead, and here you see save group. If I'm going to be entering in multiple people or multiple things in that section, we are going to need to save each group. So save group. And as you can see here down at the bottom, it has me assigned as one of the crew members and my roles. We can go in here and click edit if we need to change something, or remove it and kind of start over and add a new crew member. So now that I assign myself, I will need to assign my EMT. Boom. EMT, he is going to be the driver during the response, driver during transport, and other caregiver at scene. I will also save him. And now you will see both crew members here. Once you have filled that out, I'm going to go ahead and click save and next. And here we see our times. These are our pre-times. Most of the stuff should be already pre-populated from when dispatch clicks on the CAD and assigns you a call. So there really shouldn't be a need here to change anything. This should already be filled out for the most part. You can see everything's complete. All the reds are completed for now, so the pre-time is green. I will go ahead and save and move on to the next section. This will be our post times here. Again, we're going to move through this kind of in a linear time manner like I would be on scene. So we don't have our post times yet. I can go ahead and save, and that will go ahead and take me to the next tab on the left-hand side. Since that was the last sub-tab for incident, now I will move into patient. Again, this stuff should all be pre-populated. We can pull from the CAD. You can select a patient from the CAD here. We're just going to show you how to manually enter in a patient using that mock patient template that I gave you. You can go ahead and use that. So we are going to use Mr. John Smith. Address. Once I start putting in the address, it will give me a list of addresses. You can match up the right one. That will pre-populate as you fill it out. So we will just go with this guy here, and again, boom, it'll pre-populate address, state, zip code, all that. County, country, everything that's red's filled out, save and next. Back up, as you can see, now green. Social security number, I'm just gonna add some of this stuff. Male and white. He is going to be 72 years old. Patient phone number. Again, just go ahead and make it in for now. Normally we get this off the pay sheet. Again, you can put in any extra info you want, but at a very minimum, we've hit all red. Save and next. Physician certificate statement, that CMN, this is going to be a Kaiser call, so no need for that. We're just going to go ahead and click no. If you did end up, if it was a Medicare, Medi-Cal, any of those type calls that warrants a CMN or PCS, you would click yes, and then you would put in all the pertinent information on why, who is signing it, first and last name of the individual that's signing that CMN and why. We're going to go through, enter in patient's information here as far as insurance. So primary method of payment for this gentleman is going to be insurance. He is a Kaiser patient, and that's his primary. Kick all the way down and save group, and that is going to save that information. If the patient had a secondary, you would go through and enter in the secondary and then save another group, and that way it would have both sets of insurance information. For now, we will just go ahead and click save. Next section. You can see at the top here, say if it was a work-related incident, you go ahead and click yes, and then anything pertinent, this is not a work comp. As you can see, these are green already, so they don't have to be filled out if they're not pertinent, but I'm just going to go ahead and work-related illness or incident. Go ahead and click no, save next. That will take me to the closest relative. If it was a pediatric patient, you needed to enter in the name of the mother, father, or guardian. By all means, this is where you would do that. We won't have to do that for this gentleman, so we're just going to go ahead and click save and next. That is going to take me to my condition codes here. So our response urgency is going to be immediate for this gentleman. Specialty care provider will be a nurse. Patient transport assessment, we're transporting this gentleman. He is unable to walk without assistance. Moving on down, we will be transporting this patient for the benefit of preferred physician. Working on the way down, finding all the tabs that are red, obviously. Specialty care transport, another name for CCT. Interfacility transfer, requiring higher level. Working our way down. That's all the red. Save and next. Now we are getting into some more of the patient information. Here we go. You see current meds. At this point, I can go ahead and these are the home meds section, not the meds that they might be on, maybe drips or anything like that. This is just, we're getting history right now. So this is any medications that they are taking at home, basically an MAR. I can go ahead, we have a drop down box here, and we will see a big list of medications that they might be on. If you don't see a medication that they are on, by all means, you can go ahead and free text whatever you want. So if this patient is on aspirin and Plavix, again, it's not red because maybe the patient's not on any medications at home, right? So I wouldn't be wanting to fill that out for them. But once I filled out everything there, go ahead and click save group. This way we can, for each medication that we needed to, we can add different meds and keep adding them on here. So I believe you can also take a picture of the MAR from the hospital that you're picking up and also attach that to our attachments too, which would be okay. Save group. So here you go. Like I said, anytime we needed to, if we need to remove it or if we need to go in and make changes, you can do that as well here. If you are okay with all the home meds, go ahead and click save and next. All right, now we're going into our medical history. Recent travel, say no. Again, trying to find our first red tab, patient having advanced directive. Well, we'll say this patient has a living will. Allergies. Let's say this patient has penicillin allergy. We can go ahead and start typing into the box here. And allergy to penicillin. We can add multiple allergies here. We can also free text. How about environmental and food allergies? This patient has none. Again, working our way down. Past medical history. We'll say this gentleman has congestive heart failure and diabetes. Again, if there's something that you're looking for that's not in that drop-down box, you can always go ahead and free text it in here as well. Medication history obtained from, we'll say patient and healthcare provider, and work our way down. Looks like we have addressed all the red here. Let me go ahead and save group if there's anything pertinent or anything that needs to be saved there. If not, you can go ahead and save and move on to the next section. Here we will put in our sending and receiving physician. So we will just say Dr. Jones is sending and Dr. Wynn is accepting. Save next section. And supply items, anything that you would need to use. Obviously you see here, we have BLS supplies at the top, and then we have some CCT bundled supplies here. Go ahead, it will usually default to a linen set in the BLS section. For us, we have our ACLS bundle here that includes the linen, monitor, SpO2, and electrodes. Click the quantity of that item. This is a bundle chart, so it'll just be one. Save group. If I needed now to add something else, say this patient is on a heparin drip, and so that will move to the Alaris pump and add that group. And we also need to charge for the pump tubing. And maybe we're just using this patient's on a heparin drip, so we will go ahead and click save group. And now all of our charges in there. Again, at any time we can go ahead and remove or edit if we need to. And as long as I hit all the red sections, which I have, I will go ahead and hit save next section. So as you can see now, after this, I will have completed all the subtabs in the patient main tab. And they will all be green. Here you see patient is red right now, but as soon as I save this next section, everything is green at top and patient is green. And it should also move us on to the next main tab on the left-hand side, which is situation. So we're going to go ahead and put in any of the pertinent information here. As you can see, we're working left to right, hitting all the red tabs. It's in location type hospital. And we can go ahead and choose from a group of facility that's already in there if we need to. Say we'll be down in San Diego, we put San Diego and search. And that'll give us a list of hospitals in the San Diego area. So we'll say we are picking this patient up at Naval Medical Center. I'll go ahead and click that. And that will already now, after I pick that hospital, you can see it's already going to pre-populate the address that's already been put in. city, state, zip code, all that stuff, county, and country. Save next section. All right, and for some reason, incident location still is red, so maybe we forgot to fill something else. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, kind of go back, see if there was something that I had left out. Aha, and there was. So even though everything else was filled out and pre-populated for me when I click on Naval Medical Center, I didn't put in the unit or room number. So we will just go ahead and say this patient's in ER 10. Incident state. Looks like everything else is good. So now I will hit save next section and incident location screen. So that way you can always tell if there was something that was left out, you forgot to put something in, or maybe you don't have all the information yet and you need to go back, it will still stay red until you've completely filled it out. So now we will go with complaint, and we'll just say this is a STEMI patient. STEMI patient getting picked up out of the ER at Naval Balboa Medical Center, going to Kaiser San Diego to the cath lab. We'll use that. So chief complaint, anatomical location is going to be chest, system, cardiovascular. Now way down, this is going to be his chief or primary complaint. His complaint, we will go with chest pain. Duration complaint, he's been having a chest pain for 1 day. And I will save group. Now we can go back and we can add other complaints if they have. Say the patient is also complaining of shortness of breath. So maybe a secondary complaint of shortness of breath, also going on for 1 day. And I will save that group. Let's go down. I should see both complaints here. Primary chief complaint of chest pain and secondary complaint of shortness of breath. Once I have finished that, save next. And at the time, possible injury, no. Working through, we'll say this patient's emergent. And that's pretty much it as far as the red tabs here. So I can go ahead and click save and next. Cardiac arrest, click no. Save next. Here you can see now scene, first EMS unit on scene, yes. Single patient, is it a mass casualty, some other stuff here. They will be defaults already here. As you can see, we've already now completed everything that needed to be in the situation tab, because all the sub tabs at top are now all green. So let's go to our next one, assessment. All right, so once we finally get over into assessment, again, we're gonna need to put in, we'll just say this patient is 100 kilograms. Make sure you specify pounds or kilograms here. If it's a pediatric patient, you can go ahead and click the corresponding length-based tape measurement color. You can put in the patient height if you want to. Remember, it's not red, so you don't have to, but the more information you can, the better. We'll say this gentleman is 6 foot, even, 100 kilograms. Working our way down. Length-based. Patient stroke symptoms, we'll say no. Save and next. Initial assessment. Here, as you can see at the top, we're going to do our main assessment, eyes, any type of focus assessment that you need to do here, depending on the patient's complaint, eyes, spine, abdomen, extremity, whatever's going to be here. So we're going to say this patient's, still complaining of a little bit of chest pain. I'm going to go ahead and click found in mild distress. We found him in bed, semi-Fowlers. We're going to do our assessment right now. Go ahead and timestamp that. We can go ahead You can go through and you can click all these individually, or you can also hit create all normals, go in, edit it, and change whatever you need to. So say everything else is completely normal with this patient. He's only complaining of some chest pain, 4 out of 10 right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit create all normal entries. And you see my primary assessment has now been saved down at the bottom here. But maybe I want to go back in now and edit. As soon as you hit edit, it'll take you in here. So I'm going to go through and just change whatever you need to, or by all means fill it out. So patient is oriented ×4. We'll fill out everything for him here. Heart assessment normal. Lung sounds will say breath sounds are equal. Bilaterally, you can scroll down and see all the options here. Since I put normal, it already pre-clicked normal for me. But this patient was, like I said, was complaining of some pain. So even though breath sounds are normal, I will go ahead and click some pain. He's still complaining of, like I said, some 4 out of 10 chest pain. Anything that is pertinent with your focus assessment by systems, go ahead and put face assessment, neck, head, anything that's pertinent, go ahead and put in there. So that is my primary assessment that I did on him. I changed what I needed to do, so I will go ahead and click. All right, looks like I need to timestamp this assessment. Yeah, find out why. We're going to go ahead and into our primary assessment here. We're going to edit it. It had given me a warning that I did not timestamp that assessment. Looks like they timestamp. Let me go ahead and timestamp it again here. Let's save an exception, and that should hopefully take me to the next assessment here. All right, it's still giving me, so let's just go ahead and do eye assessment here, and then I will go back. So we are checking this gentleman, bilateral eyes. We'll say he's pearl, 30 millimeters. And I'm going to go ahead and remove our previous assessment. Associate assessment. This is like this. Yeah, we're associating that eye assessment with our previous primary assessment there. Go back in here to navigate. And I'm actually going to say I wanted to remove this. Say if I was going to do another assessment on this patient, and there have been no changes, I can always go ahead and copy that assessment if nothing has changed, and I will just timestamp it for the new assessment, and I can save it as a new row, so you will see multiple assessments here. Let's go ahead and remove both of these if say I needed to. If there was something that wasn't right and I needed to go back and change, I can always remove these. And we are just going to go back again and kind of redo it again here. So initial assessment, patient found a mild distress, in bed, semi-Fowler's. Going to timestamp that now. Normal skin. So remember, anything that's red needs to be filled out as we're going through. Lungs, chest, we're going to put pain, normal here. Oriented ×4 again. Normal baseline for the patient. Speech is normal, normal strength, normal gait, symmetrical. All right. Once I have done all the red, save in the group. And looks like it took. So you can see my assessment here. Now I will move on. And since we did away with our old initial assessment, you can see the previous eye assessment that we did that was attached to that primary survey was gone. So again, I will go ahead and associate this with the assessment that we just completed. Bilateral, Pearl, 3, and save group. So now you can see here my general impression, main assessment, eyes, everything else that is needed. Again, do a good focus assessment depending on your patient's chief complaint, and hit save in next section. That will take me through all these. By all means, if there's something pertinent there, address it, even though these aren't red and need to be complete. If your patient is complaining of back pain, by all means, address it in your assessment here. Since we have hit all the areas that we needed to for this patient in the subtabs and everything's green, and we see our assessment is now green, we can move on to the next main tab. All right, so treatment here. All right, so quick over. All right, so now we are in our treatment page or tab, and you can see vitals, medications, procedures. These are all the things that we're going to be doing. So we're going to get our initial set of vital signs. So again, at the very minimum, we need to hit the red areas. So after we did our assessment, we got our patient loaded up on the gurney, hooking them up on our monitor, and we're going to get our initial set of vital signs. So obtained by this prior to this EMS unit care, no. We're going to timestamp our taking our vitals now. I have my ENT getting a set of vital signs, AVPU, patient is alert. And just work your way from top to bottom. Patient is in a, let's say, sinus rhythm. We are using a 4-lead. We are going to manually interpret his EKG or his strip. Patient is still in semi-Fowler's. Systolic blood pressure. We are just going to put normal 120/80. We are using an automated cuff. It's going to go ahead and spit out our mean arterial pressure, heart rate, 60. That's going to be by cardiac monitor. Pulse is regular. Pulse ox 100. Respiration is normal. And tidal blood glucose, if that's pertinent for this patient, go ahead and fill that out. All vital signs are within normal limits for this patient at this time. Now we'll move on to GCS. He is across the top, GCS of 15, so 4 on eyes, 5, and 6. Working our way down, GCS now, 15, looks good. Temperature, you can note how you got it. Now pain scale, remember we said this patient was still complaining of some chest pain. So we'll say he is complaining of 4 out of 10 chest pain, and that's on the numeric scale since he's an adult. We're gonna work our way down. OPQRST, anything that's pertinent there as far as the pain is related, go ahead and enter that. And now that we hit everything that's right, I'm gonna go ahead and save group. And you can see our first set of vital signs here. Remember, we still need to take vital signs at a minimum every 15 minutes. At a very minimum, critical patients maybe every 5 minutes. But this chart will not let us finalize and post without 2 sets of vital signs. So we, no matter what, even if it's a 5-minute transport, we're going to at least need our initial vital signs and then our destination vital signs. But for now, we are going to go ahead and click Save Next. See, obviously vital signs are still red here because we haven't done our second set yet. It's going to ask us here if we have given in any controlled substances, morphine, anything like that. For this patient, we're going to go ahead and click no. I would click this over to myself if I was. Obviously, my ENT is not going to be giving the narcotics. Working our way down. If you did give a narcotic, it's going to prompt you to fill out the lot number, the amount removed, amount administered, your waste. Both you and your partner are going to witness the waste on here and signature. But since we did not, we don't need to fill that out. Or any medications continue during transport. Yes, remember I said this patient was on a heparin drip. So we're going to go ahead and click over now. Boom. I'm hanging the heparin right now. I can go ahead and free text in here. Heparin drip 1,000 units an hour. Going down here, by all means, you can click on how we're giving it. IV drip. If you wanted to, you can put in your dose here. I just free texted here, but by all means, you can go ahead and put it in these boxes. I'm just going all the way down. Medication administered, non-narcotic, yes. I already did that. Let me see here. So these would be, as you can see, any medications continued during transport. So this is say the heparin drip that the patient was already on and we are continuing it. This section at the bottom here would be if there was any other medications that we had to give en route. Say the patient became hypertensive and we had to give him labetalol. Maybe we had to give him some nitroglycerin for chest pain. So we'll say, yeah, we go, maybe we give him some nitroglycerin. Nitro, and we'll just say 1 tab. Down. And yeah, I'm just going to save group now. And you can see medications that we gave here. Save next. All right, patient transported to gurney. How did we move them to the gurney? Well, you and your partner maybe did a 2-person lift using a slide board. Patient secured, obviously the side rails up. If you ended up using a PDMA or a car seat, by all means, address whatever you need to there. Procedure performed. So if I click yes, procedure performed, it's going to ask me what type of procedure we did here. So procedure, I'm going to go ahead and timestamp now. No. What type of procedure did we do? Well, we did a 3-lead or 4-lead EKG monitoring. We hit that because we did put them on the monitor. Move the temps, we'll go ahead and just put 1. Procedure successful, yes. Maybe for what did we any complications? No complications. Response to this procedure unchanged. Remember myself. Registered nurse. and did that per our standing protocols. Save group, and move on to the next section. This is now going to ask us about any devices that we use. So if we ended up using a ventilator, if we use an airvo, any of those types of things, it will ask us if we did, say we did use a ventilator, we click yes, we click what type of settings we did, whether adult. It's going to ask us about the ET2 placement, obviously our vent settings. For right now, we're just going to click no. But like I said, if I did, I click adult, hit any of these, anything here that's pertinent as far as our settings here. Was airvo used? I'm going to go ahead and click no. If it was, you're going to select the type of interface you use, the mode, adult versus ped, and your settings in there as well. Since we didn't use any of those devices, we're just going to click no on both of those. I don't think we need to save group here because we didn't do anything, but if we did, we'd hit save group and that will save any of those settings. But we're going to just hit save and next section. Here you can put in any of the patient lab results. So say this patient, maybe we just got resulted of their positive troponin. Well, let's go ahead and we'll clear this. Results was prior to our care, obviously. And we can go ahead and put in if there was anything pertinent there. Right now, we'll just click no, so we can move on. Here you would put in the type of labs here. So obviously we would associate it with if we had said that we had got those labs before. So say maybe we did get labs, we'll go back here. So we'll just say yes, prior. Save group. So now when we go into our next section here, it's going to ask us what type of labs there were and what were they. So we're going to go ahead and find troponin. Remember, this is a working document. We're still in the process of building it out, adding things. If you see certain things that aren't in here, say maybe a lab result or a medication that we give or something like that that's not in her, maybe a facility, please reach out to us and we can make sure that we enter it in here. We can change this all we want, add things, take away. So we'll just say maybe this is glucose. The patient's glucose was 100. There we go. There we go. So we added a lab result. So now everything that we can is here. Like I said, lab images, if we need to take pictures of or add in maybe results from an x-ray or a CAT scan. Airway, if we had an invasive airway device that we needed to document, airway confirmation, and all that would be here. So right now treatment is still red only because we haven't entered in that second set of vital signs. It's not going to let us post until we get that second set of vital signs, but we won't get that until destination or 15 minutes later after our first set. So we're just going to keep moving on. Like I said, that's everything we can fill out for now. So now we're going to go into narrative. So this is going to be where we're going to address, write in whatever you want as far as, arrived on scene, patient found resting comfortably in bed, no acute distress, vital signs stable, no times 4, patient complaining of chest pain, why they came in, patient diagnosed with STEMI with positive cardiac enzymes, however you want to do it. Remember, you should have at least a narrative for your on-scene assessment and then also a disposition narrative as well, what the patient looked like, at destination when you got to the hospital. And then if there was any changes in route, make sure that you address those in your narrative as well, or anything that you didn't see that you wanted to put in or address that you didn't see a tab for, by all means, you can go ahead and write that in your narrative. So we're just going to say patient found in no acute distress. And we're going to save and move on. Protocols, we're using our adult protocols. These are our standing orders here. San Diego protocols. For us, CCT providers, it's going to be that first one, interfacility transfer. Working our way down, we're going to save this group as we hit all the red. If we ended up using a protocol, save that. It doesn't look like we have to save this group, so we can just move on. Save and next. Protocol's good. Now attachments. This is now where if we say took a picture of our face sheet, maybe a DNR, 5150, H&P lab results, anything here, a CMN, or rhythm strips, or standing orders, should be labeled and then attached here. You can hit add file, go into your camera roll, and be able to add the corresponding documentation here. So we're just going to go, remember, at a very minimum, we should have, as for CCT calls, we should have 3 things that we're going to be attaching here: the face sheet, the standing order sheet that the nurse is going to sign like we would on our paper chart, and then also our rhythm strips as well with our interpretation. If it was a Medicare patient, we would also be adding our CMN there. But at the very minimum, we should have 3 attachments. We should have the like I said, the face sheet, standing orders, and our rhythm strip. So we're just going to go ahead and find a picture to add here. We'll just say face sheet, choose file, and it will browse your pictures here. We'll give it a second while it's looking for our files. Remember, this is a red section, so we're going to have to find something here. We're going to go ahead and add a file or the correct picture for what we are trying to upload here. So here you see face sheet, it downloaded or uploaded the picture here, and we're just going to head save and next. And you're going to do that for each one of those attachments that you need. You see we've hit everything now. It's all green at top. Narrative is green. Now disposition. So we already say we were on scene. We did our assessment. We did all that. And now we are ready to go transporting. So I can always go back here, click home, and I can timestamp. So now we are transporting this patient. I timestamp transporting. That lets dispatch know that we are transporting. Again, you can add any treatments that you need to, any narratives that you need to during transport. You can address that. So say we now got at destination with this patient. So I'm going to go ahead and click add destination. And I'm going to get my final set of vital signs on this patient, because remember, we need a minimum of 2. And here's our vital signs. So I'm going to go ahead and timestamp vital signs now. It's going to be me getting vital signs this time. Patient is alert. Working our way down. Patient is still in sinus rhythm. This is a 4 lead. Manual interpretation. He's still semi-Fowlers. Entering our blood pressure again. So now he's 110 over 70. Automated cuff. Heart rate is going to be 70. That's by electronic monitor. Pulse or pulse oximetry. Patient's 99%. Regular pulse. Respirations of 16. Yes, I did count them. patient is respiratory effort is normal. Okay. Vital signs all normal, all within normal. GCS again is across the top. So that's good. Temperature if important. Pain scale. This patient, pain came down. That happens working. So we have 2 out of 10 right now, still on that numeric base scale. Since it's an adult, obviously, if it's a child, you'd be using Wong-Baker or whatever is pertinent for that. Obviously, hit your PQRST if relevant. And I've hit everything that was green, or sorry, everything that was red. So I'm gonna go ahead and now save my new set of vital signs. And as you can see here, there are 2 sets of vital signs now. Now that 2 sets of vital signs are in, I'm gonna click save and next section. And for some reason, it still has my vital signs as red, but don't worry about that. Don't get hung up if anything's still red. When we get into finalize before we post it, we will make sure that we address anything there. There will be some quick links that will take us straight to whatever needs to be finished. So let's go back over here, disposition, because remember, we are now at destination. All right, now position a patient during transport. Remember, we said a patient's in semi-Fowlers. We moved them by stretcher. It was an emergent response, right? We're taking them to the cath lab. Still went, no lights and sirens, normal speed, ground transport, code 1. We'll say this is a code 2, a stat, transferring to, all right, which facility did we transfer to? We can again choose from facility. Again, I'm going to go ahead and put in San Diego and search. Remember, this is a Kaiser patient, so we are taking them to Kaiser Permanente San Diego. Double click that. It's going to enter in all the information. Remember last time I forgot to put in the actual room assignment, but everything else is already pre-populated here. So I'm going to go ahead. Remember, we're taking this patient to the cath lab. And I'm going to continue working down. He was moved out of the ambulance by stretcher. Here, patient was treated and transported by this EMS unit. Yes. Patient acuity, he's still emergent. A reason for choosing destination. Well, he's a Kaiser patient, so he went for there for insurance reasons, right? Type of destination, it is a hospital, non-emergency department. Patient was placed in bed with side rails up, bed lowered, call light given, and semi-Fowlers. He was moved 2 people by his bed sheet. Patient belongings left with patient, yes. Patient belongings, actually asking if it had patient belongings, he did. We'll just say he had his clothing, and we are going to leave it at destination with the patient. Save next. All right, so again, remember we need to get our patient signature, just like we normally would for consent for transfer, and then also receiving facility handoff. So who is signing here? We're going to go ahead and receiving. So patient signature, patient's going to sign. Here, we're going to put in their name. On Smith, and he's the patient. Witness signature, if we need to, if someone is signing other than the patient here, this is going to be the receiving facility signature. So our nurse is going to sign here, put in the nurse's name, and their title, our end. Blah, blah, blah. Completing this report, obviously put whoever is the report author. That is myself. I am going to sign this. This is my chart. Or if you need to, the second crew member, but not necessary. As you can see, it's not red. Click and save. Crew details, hospital activation, outcome, external report if you need to. If not, like I said, I'm going to move to signatures, last red box here. Let's see. So maybe patient signed, other signatures that we need, patient, permission to treat, permission to transport. It's going to be the patient. Signature signed. And then fill out anything else that is pertinent. As you can see, we got everything in now, and this position is green. So we are pretty much done with this patient. Let's go ahead and click save next section. That's going to take us to finalize. All right, so as you can see here, now I'm in that finalize section. It's going to tell me what I'm missing here. All right, and what, all right, so vital signs missing. So I have a couple things that are missing on the vital signs. So it looks like I didn't address something in one of them. So I can go ahead and click the quick link on vital signs, and that'll take me back there. So I obviously missed something. I'm glad I did. So obviously I can show you what it looks like. Remember, we got to get 2 full sets of vital signs. I hit that. It's going to take me to my vital signs. This is if I wanted to add a new vital sign, but remember I had already saved vital signs here. So there is one of them I did not address something. So I think it was the maybe the initial set of vital signs that I left a couple things out. So I will go find that initial set of vital signs, click edit. And that will now open up here. So it'll ask me, let's see, patient obtained for this EMS unit. No, looks like I filled out everything here. I think I missed respiration rate. Here we go. Okay, 16. Yes, I did count. And I'm going to resave this group. And in all my last set of vital signs, I don't think I clicked that, so it's going to open up now, that set of vital signs. And I didn't click the top box here, obtain part of this unit's EMS care. No, because we did the vital signs ourselves. Again, I'm going to go down, click save group, and save next section. As you can see, the treatment box is now green. So it means I must have filled out everything like I was supposed to. So let's go back to finalize. All right, so as you can see, I have 4 things here that are still required for red fields that I did not complete. So I must go and address those now. So patient phone number, I'm going to go ahead and click that. Let's add that patient's phone number. Again, we're just going to make something up here. Normally we would get this off the face sheet, and this is their home save field. So now that's taken care of. All right, so let's go patient destination odometer. Obviously at the end of our call, once we clear, we will get our end call, our end page. So let's go and find out what I'm missing here. So vehicle, right, let's go. So remember, this is at the end of our cone. We ended up going, our ending odometer was 60. We started with 10, 60. We have a total transport odometer of 50 now. Crew. All right, so. And I had to save it. I clicked out of there without saving. That's why it was still red. I saved it. Boom, here. Now let's click our post time, because we are, remember, I'd already hit our transporting time at destination. So we'll say we are back in service now. And I will need to save that section. And that's green. So only one thing should be remaining. So let's go back to finalize. And yep, only one thing remaining. I need to enter in our crew member ID. Normally this would already be in. Like I said, once we're up and running live with this, all crew members, when you click on that crew member, their corresponding crew member ID will already be pre-populated in there. But for now, we're going to have to manually enter it. So let's hit that. Enter. So this is for the EMT basic here. So that would be my my partner. And we're just going to go ahead and add in Robert Carter's EMT number. Since he's been an EMT forever, he's got an EMT number of 1. We will save that field. And as you can see, now everything is complete. I have no outstanding links that need to be completed. You can see here, no incomplete fields, no invalid fields. All rules have been passed, no errors. Everything looks good. As you can see on the left-hand side, everything is green. I've finished everything. Make sure we upload our attachments, the face sheet, standing orders, and rhythm strips. Make sure that's all taken care of. And once that is, I can go ahead and finalize our run. As you can see here, now we know everything is good. All of my validations are good. It says finalized here. And everything is green. So now my chart is complete. I'm ready to go. It's posted, and I can move on with our next call. I can always click on our ePCR tab here. I'm going to leave this screen and take us to our list of runs. So as you can see, our chart that we just completed at the top here, Besnay 3, it's got our PCR number, trip number, any CAD information, patient information here, and we know it's been completed and finalized because it's in green. Like I said, if I ever needed to go back in now into this chart, say I needed to print a copy of it for the destination unit, I can go ahead and print it here. I can email it to them, but say I need to go back in there and maybe change something, I can always click on this, highlight it, click view, and that will take me right back into the chart. But since everything is good, again, I will come out of here and go back to our patient list. If I had any other charts that were outstanding at this time that I needed to complete before the end of my shift, I can go ahead, click on the corresponding run that I needed to do, click on it, hit view, go in there, fill out what you need to, post it before the end of your shift. Otherwise, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself, Ryan Besnay, Ryan Hartsock, or Daniel Martinez once we get this up and going. Again, like I said, this is a, it's a work in progress. If you see something that you would like have added to the chart or the system, please reach out to us. If there was a certain medication that you had to give that is not on the drop down box, go ahead and let us know. We can go ahead and put that in. If it was maybe a pickup location or a destination that's not on that list, let us know and we can go ahead and add that in. But thank you for taking the time and going through this training. I hope you guys don't have a whole lot of issues going through it. I know it seems like a lot all at once, and we're going to be rolling live with it here soon. So by all means, get it when you get a chance, get in there. Don't be afraid to play around with it. Make as many, you know, test patients as you want. Get very familiar with it. Go in and out of as many boxes as you want. Just learn how to navigate it. Like I said, I know it seems like a lot all at once, but the more you get in there and navigate it, the more runs you do, the more you'll be able to figure out how to navigate it and where all the sections are. So hopefully eventually you guys will get it, but we are here as your resource. So if there's anything that you need, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.